Cedar Point is America's rocking roller coaster, and today we're going to go over all of the things that you need to know when planning your trip to Cedar Point. In this guide, I'm going to cover everything from where to eat, what rides to head to first, the hotels and lodging accommodations, as well as whether or not it's worth it to pay for Fastlane Plus. Cedar Point is known for its rich history of building some of the most thrilling roller coasters in the world. Currently, the park has 17 roller coasters, but they are in the process of building their 18th coaster. 2024 was pretty disappointing, as the highly anticipated Top Thrill 2 was only open for all of about a week. So keep that in mind. This coaster is highly anticipated. A lot of people waited since last year to ride this thing, so expect long lines. If you want to avoid the lines, I suggest getting the Fastlane Plus. It ranges anywhere from $125 to upwards of $200 a person per day. You can also pay to skip the line just one time, but that'll cost you about $30 for Top Thrill 2, and you can only do this after 2 p.m. As far as parking goes, there's two ways to enter the park. If you want to take the front parking, stay to the right, but stay to the left if you want to go back to Soak City and use the Magnum XL 200 entrance. As far as early entry goes, it's included with certain pass holders as well as hotel guests. Generally speaking, it's a great time to get on one or two rides, but if you don't have Fastlane Plus, I would head to Top Thrill 2 and at least get in line. Now, Cedar Point offers some of the best hotel accommodations and lodging accommodations of any amusement park. They have everything from family friendly and budget friendly to some really top tier hotels. If you're looking for budget friendly, I recommend the Express Hotel. It's not actually located on the peninsula, but there are services to get you over to the park. And of course, one of the nicest hotels that Cedar Point has to offer is Hotel Breakers. This is one of the more pricier options, but it definitely has some great views of the lake, as well as the amenities you would expect from any 4-star hotel. Another great hotel is Castaway Bay, offering an indoor water park. This is located off of the peninsula, but of course offers transportation over to the park. Sawmill Creek is probably their nicest hotel and probably the most expensive, but it's also the furthest one away, right around 5 or 6 miles away from Cedar Point. My personal favorite happens to be Lighthouse Point. It just doesn't get any better than the cabins right on the peninsula. You can literally walk out your front door and walk right over to the park. You really can't put a price on convenience. It's also nice that there's a place to go to if you get tired walking around Cedar Point. This is a massive park. Prepare to walk at least 10 miles if you do a full day at Cedar Point. It's nice to have a place that you can go back to and take a nap if you need to. As far as places to eat, the Farmhouse happens to be my favorite place to eat at. I absolutely love the smash fried potatoes here. They are incredible. Highly recommend them. I also want to take the time to recommend getting the all-day dining pass. This will cost you right around $35 to $45, depending on whether you get the drink package with this as well. You pretty much get your money's worth by getting 2 meals throughout the day, as you can expect to spend anywhere from $20 to $30 on a single meal. It's important to know that early entry into the park can be very beneficial. You're eligible for early entry if you have a gold pass with the all park pass, or if you're staying at one of Cedar Point's many hotel accommodations. If you do utilize this perk, I would take a look at the app and see which coasters are offered during the early entry. But as far as coming into the park on regular operating hours, I would suggest heading right to Top Thrill 2. And even when the all-new Siren's Curse opens, I would still suggest heading to Top Thrill 2. As far as Fastlane Plus goes, I highly recommend getting this. If you plan to spend multiple days at Cedar Point, then you might not need this. But if you are only going to be there for one day, definitely invest in getting the Fast Lane Plus. They do offer a Fast Lane. It's about $25 cheaper, but it doesn't include any of the great coasters, only some of the older ones and less desirable rides. One of the first coasters that you really want to head to is either Maverick or Millennium Force. Both of these coasters get some of the longest lines, as well as Steel Vengeance. However, Steel Vengeance doesn't always open up when the park opens. It goes through a rigorous testing process. I usually plan to get on Steel Vengeance later in the afternoon. As far as Gatekeeper, Raptor, and Valraven, all three of these coasters are extremely popular. They're fairly reliable and pump out a lot of people throughout the day. So they're definitely some of the coasters you can wait for till the end of the day, which I would suggest doing that for Siren's Curse as well. One coaster that's kind of hit or miss, and that would be Iron Dragon. And the reason being is there's no fast lane for this coaster. But from my experience, it has a fairly large capacity and the line always seems to keep moving. And for some reason, the Wild Mouse, this thing is prone to issues, although I'm not quite sure about this year if they got all of the kinks worked out. But this thing constantly had issues for the 2024 season. I don't expect much changed. I would suggest doing this earlier on in the day as well, mostly because of capacity issues. Now, Magnum XL 200 is one of those coasters that you either love or hate. And for that reason, it just depends on who's in the park that day. Some days you go in there and there's no line at all, and other days it's pretty busy. So a good indicator would be how busy is the park that day. If it's a fairly busy day, I would try and get this one done later on in the day. When you walk by Gemini, be sure to check out how many trains they're running. If they're running both sides, 2 trains on each side, well, I think it's a pretty safe bet to try and get on this coaster later on in the day. But if they're only running one train on both sides, or if they're only running one side altogether, I would suggest trying to get that out of the way early. Same goes for the Cedar Creek Mine Train. Take notice as to how many trains they're running. So that's pretty much my guide to Cedar Point. I know I didn't cover every single ride or roller coaster in this video, but I'm always willing to help others out. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. And as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. I really do appreciate every single like, and it means a lot. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Hope everybody has a great day.